Hey guys, welcome to tutorial number 8. This tutorial will be focusing on functions. So what are functions? How do we use them? How do you make them work? So first of all, let's learn what functions are. So basic definition of a function is, say, you want to execute a block of code and you want to execute that with just one line. So for example, you got like 6 lines of code that you want to execute with just one line of code, and you can execute that 6 lines of code anytime you want by just typing that one line. So let's start by learning how to write functions. So just a basic function. So let's delete our array code from here, and let's see, let's do function. So the way you start a function is by just typing function. So you type function, now the name of the function. So let's say name. Okay. Now you end with close and open circle brackets, and then close and open curly brackets. Alright, that's how you start a function. So let's say in this function, what you want to do is echo a name. So I don't know, say Peter Griffin, alright, from Family Guy. So now that we have our basic function, how do we actually call upon this function and make it use? So let's start by just say doing echo the father of the Griffin family is. Now we're gonna execute this function to display Peter Griffin. So all we need to do is type name. That's it. What that does is call upon that function to be executed. So let's save that. Let's refresh our index page. And I spelled father wrong, which is fine. So the father of the Griffin family is Peter Griffin. Now see, we don't have a space in here, so let's simply just add a space right there, save it, refresh, and now you get the father of the Griffin family is Peter Griffin. So what that did was call upon that function anytime you want to use it. So let's expand on this code here and call upon the function various times. So let's just delete Peter and just have Griffin. So the father of the family is Peter Griffin, right? And then next line, let's add a break in there. Or actually, let's add a break in there, because then we won't need to type break a million times. So let's echo the mom of the Griffin family is Lois. Now let's write name again. So now you can see how this works. So for example, the father will be Peter, and then it types name Griffin, and then the mother name Griffin. So let's have one more line of code saying the kid of the family is Stewie, and name. Now let's see what that happens when we refresh. So now you can see father is Griffin, Peter Griffin, Lois Griffin. Now these don't have spaces, so all we can do is just add spaces here. Simple as that. Refresh. Now you get nice 3 lines of code saying, you know, family members, and the main thing what you did here is just recall upon that function a million times, so you didn't have to type echo Griffin a million times. Now functions can be used for various other things, for example, like doing, I don't know, mathematics. Let's do a mathematics example with functions. So let's get rid of our code here and write a function that, let's say, adds. Alright, so function add. Alright, so what we're gonna do is define what we want to add. So we can write in here, we can define the variable x, and we can define the variable y. So we want to add x and y together, right? So now we open and close this with curly brackets, and what you want to do now is say variable added, let's say, that is equal to x plus y. Okay, so what this does is variable added is the addition of x plus y, which is what we define in here. So now what you want to do is you want to return added. This will return the value, the added value, to wherever you want it to return. So for example, let's echo the sum of, I don't know, 12 plus 12 is equal to, now we can call upon the function add, and what you want, now what you did there was do x and y, so what you want to add is x and y, so you want to add 12 plus 12, right? Because we did, our x is 12 and our y is 12. So let's end that line there and refresh our page, and you see what you get is the sum of 12 plus 12 is 24. So what you did here was add 12 plus 12, but really you added it by calling the function here. So you made your own kind of calculator thinger. Now say you want to do subtraction. Alright, leave everything the same, and you get subtraction 0, and that's pretty much a basic thing about functions. Now you guys probably noticed by now that this function here does not get, say you had an echo like we did before, it does not get echoed unless you call upon it. So it doesn't show up on the browser unless you really call upon that function. That's the way it's built into PHP. So functions can be used for various things, and you really don't, it really doesn't display on the website unless you actually call upon it. So that's a really good kind of thing about functions there. And same thing with Java. If some of you guys know about Java, you can have voids and booleans and all that stuff that don't get called upon unless you call upon it and make it execute. So thanks for checking out this tutorial today. The next one we'll be making our own file uploader using everything we've learned so far up to here, so it should be pretty sweet. So stay tuned. Thanks.